And that's it. Yeah. Or it's, Mom, do this. And
of course.
I'll be right there.
Yeah.
And they don't ever, I don't know, it's a good gig. It really is, because they don't ever come to me for anything. I'm sitting there perfectly available, ready to,
ready to help out.
I can make all this stuff. I can do cereal.
Right?
I can make that stuff.
I say to my husband all the time, as I'm like, I have 2 on me and he's there, I'm like, in my next life, I'm coming back as you.
Yeah.
As a dad.
Right?
Just as a dad.
And in the middle of the night, who do they need? Mama.
It's never me. Yeah,
they need mama.
Never me.
But I have to say, it's the best. I mean, it really is.
Yeah.
And it goes so fast because I'm kind of on the other side now. You still have young ones, right?
Yeah, my little guys are like 5 and a half.
Yeah.
They're starting like junior kindergarten and everything.
So cute, kindergarten.
Yeah, but we just, like the past couple days, it's not empty nest, but it's half day, like they're all in school now. So that was a weird, like,
it's quiet.
It's really quiet. It's too quiet. Yeah, it's that movie scene. But yeah, it's something we have to get used to, but it's nice.
You will. I was going to say, you will.
Nice.
Yeah, it's
we,
nice.
We got daytime to do things now, so.
Yeah, accomplish what you want to get done.
All kinds of stuff to get done.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is the busiest time of my life, and just all facets, I feel like. It's always been one way or the other, like work. Well, for a long time, it was just busy with work because our schedules were much different. But now it's like every hat that I wear is busy as fuck. Yeah, so, but that's good. Like, busy's blessed.
Busy is blessed. I agree.
Am I too, or is this all right? Should I get a
Do you want a pillow? Because I kind of took them away from you.
She wanted you to relax.
Yeah, I wanted you to be, on the boat.
Laid
You were
back,
very like.
Laid back.
You were
Well,
very
we're on a
laid back.
boat. Yeah, we're on a boat, and I'm just craving beer the whole time.
I feel like that's what happens.
Mine's good.
Yeah,
I like to sit up straight. I drive.
It's better for me now.
Sitting straight.
I need to.
I don't mean like up against the steering wheel, but.
You're one of them?
No. Although, but I like to sit straight. But actually, I always drive with my left hand because I drove stick when.
Oh, okay, yeah. I'm the same way. I'm super right hand dominant, but I always drive.
Yeah.
Cool guy left hand.
Right?
Yeah,
Right?
In the center console, just lean. I'm the same way. My daughter just started driving, so.
Oh my gosh.
So now, like, I take all the boys to school, and then an hour later, because she doesn't have first period.
Because she's older.
Yeah, she's a senior now in high school.
She's
so
a senior.
I know.
Mine's going to be a senior this year too, my middle baby.
I don't like it.
It's the worst. I'm so sorry. It's the worst.
There's some good stuff about it. It like gives me nostalgic feelings that, we went through in high school and just being that age, but I don't like it.
No, it's terrible. I'm not sugarcoating it. There's nothing good about it.
Yeah. But so she's driving to school as I'm headed back, and I'm just looking for those little white knuckle hands that are like just 10 and 2 perfectly, face at the steering wheel driving. She doesn't have any swag yet.
No,
that's good.
It comes, yeah.
Focus,
yeah.
lock in, and
that's right. I hate it when they call me and they're driving.
Oh, well, she's still pretty new. She was like a late bloomer driving, so we haven't gone through that yet. It's still very like. This
point A to point
mission.
B.
Yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
yes.
Don't go anywhere else. No
Text
side.
me when you get there.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes, that's exactly it.
I'm just getting out of that phase with my middle daughter.
Oh, I couldn't imagine that.
Yeah.
I don't know if we're going to get out.
No, you do. You do.
Right.
You get more. They get more comfortable, and you get more comfortable, and it's just time.
It's giving me anxiety.
It should.
I'm starting to think, like, how did my mom just let me go? Like,
I know, right?
She just let me go to college, just all on my own. That's crazy.
It is
crazy
talk.
I know, I don't like it. It's terrible.
Yeah. Have you started looking at schools yet?
Yeah, we have possibly a legacy, possibly stay close. So I don't mind if she would stay in Florida. That would be really cool. But if she wanted to follow me in her mom's footsteps, Georgia Tech's a good school.
Yeah,
we have
I'd
really
say.
good resources there. So yeah,
She'll be well
she liked
taken
it
care
too.
of.
We had a little visit there, and she enjoyed it, so it was good.
Any family around there at all?
My in-laws are 2 hours away from Atlanta,
so that's not
they're
too
kind of in the
far.
sticks, like towards South Carolina, but not far at all. And
Yeah.
my father-in-law, I mean, he drives everywhere. I think that's just what happens when men get older, is they just prefer to drive and do road trips. But he'll drive from all the way up there down to Miami.
Really?
Like it's nothing. Yeah, like nothing. So she'll have him available most likely if she's up there.
That'll be great.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's the longest drive you've ever done?
From Pensacola to Sunnyvale, which is pretty much San Jose, California. It took
That's
a
pretty
month,
far.
but we did the whole country when I was little. So my grandparents on my mom's side would come to Pensacola to visit us every summer, and they did for like a few summers in a row where they would take one of us
Back.
with them for the rest of the summer and then fly us back. So finally it was my turn, and we did the whole nine. And I didn't realize I had so much family in Texas, like all through like Beaumont, Texas, San Antonio, Texas. My great grandmother on my mom's side is from Texas. Yeah.
Wow.
Whenever they immigrated over, they just settled in Texas.
And where did they emigrate from?
Sicily, I believe. But I think the bloodlines go so far back that because between Italy and Greece, there was a lot of like claiming Sicily, I believe. So don't roast me. I'm not a historian.
I was just learning a little bit about all that myself.
This could be like a Rogan situation. Like, please.
And our research team hasn't dug into that yet. So we'll leave it alone. No offense to the research team. Yeah, they're awesome.
They're busy doing non-research type things, but they're going to get to the research here shortly.
Yeah, we'll get the full history.
But so my mom's side, before my grandfather, because I think my grandfather was a lot of like UK, like British, Irish, and then my grandma was just this tiny little Italian lady, just
fiery.
Very much so.
Yes, they usually are.
So.
This podcast is sponsored by Squarespace. Squarespace is the all-in-one website platform designed to help you stand out and succeed online. Whether you're just starting out or scaling your business, Squarespace gives you everything you need to claim your domain, showcase your offerings with a professional website, grow your brand, and get paid, all in one place. From consultations to events and experiences, showcase your offerings with a customizable website designed to attract clients and grow your business. Squarespace also makes it easy to showcase your expertise and engage clients with video content on your website. Head to squarespace.com/Steph for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, use offer code STEPH to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. What's one of your memories of being at your grandparents' house? Or even the drive? But that time with them? Because you were about how old? I mean, a kid, right?
Yeah, still a kid. I was probably 11 or 12 maybe, so still pretty young, still innocent. There was all kinds of cool memories there. Texas was really cool. When we went to Beaumont, we stopped there. I had a bunch of cousins that I had
never met.
I'd never met them. I literally only spent time with my dad's side, my Samoan side. So getting to Texas, this is the opposite of what's going on in Pensacola. That our little chapter, at least. But they lived on a huge farm, a giant farm, and I think they still have it, and it's still in the family. But that was a good time. So just being around them, getting to know a different chapter of the family. There was this giant lake that they had, and I don't know if it was in Beaumont or if it was just near the town, but everybody in that town went there. And it was like one of those movie type, minus Jason. It was one of those movie type of lakes.
It's so hot in Texas.
Yeah,
everybody finds the body of water
and slides. This was a pretty cool
Sounds
setup.
like fun.
It was awesome. Yeah, it was like almost like a summer camp type of vibe, like the 90s movies feeling. I'm getting like nostalgic feels thinking about it.
You were watching the movies I was growing up in it.
Yeah. And then really just once I got to my grandma's house, like once we got to Sunnyvale, because if you're not familiar, this is like a perfect little Pleasantville type of town, especially back in the day. I don't know how it is now, but I thought my grandma was like rich because she had like it wasn't even like a real staircase. It was like considered a multi-level house, but it was like one of these houses where the upstairs was like only 4 steps up, and then the basement was only like 8 steps down.
But it was
like
multi-level.
Yeah, totally it was. And I thought this was just like, man, this is the rich and famous over here. Grandma's got it good. She drove a Lexus back in the day.
Oh,
So
wow.
we were not doing great in Pensacola, but I had seen other people with money, but we just weren't experiencing it. So when I got to California, I thought that this was like,
Making it.
This was it.
Yeah.
But she had a cool little cute house. Fig trees and lemon trees, persimmon trees in the back, and
Did
it was
you
a
eat
tight
figs?
little. Well, I was just telling my wife this. My grandma was huge on the figs. Like, make sure you drink your. No, it was the prunes.
That's different. Yeah,
that's
it's a whole nother
different-
problem.
That's now we can really get into the real talk.
Yeah,
here.
exactly.
But
yes.
yeah, she was always pushing prunes. She was, yeah.
I get
So
it.
grandma stayed regular,
That's
you know
a
what I
good
mean?
way to
Yeah,
put it,
grandma
yeah.
did not have any trouble with constipation, but
No, she was all
doing
systems
well.
go.
yeah, she was good to go. That's the key right there, guys. Keep
You
that
learned
digestion
it here
good.
first. Yes. Prunes. Maybe we could get sponsored by
was
prunes.
just gonna
Yeah,
say,
yeah.
We keep trying to get,
Little bag of prunes here?
some more
That
sponsors.
prune juice, but it actually came back to, to tie it all together, I would have to drink like prune juice as a kid because I wasn't even heavy at that point, but I was a big kid. So,
Yeah.
and I always look at my kids now, I'm like, hold on. When I was 7, I was 75 pounds, and my kids are way smaller than that. So I tell them all the time, I would beat y'all up so easy.
So
Me and the
easy.
twins would wreck y'all. It wouldn't even be a problem. And they're like, yeah, right, Dad. But in order to make the football team, like in order to make weight, I'd have to watch my weight. If I needed to make sure I was extra light, they would give me prune juice to use the restroom.
Oh, wow.
before
So it
weigh-ins.
really was?
I was one of those kids that had
Kind
to
of
run
like
in
a
the trash
diuretic,
bag.
but extra.
A little bit, yeah. But with a terrible taste.
Many side effects.
Then they would strap on like a trash bag, and we would run.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, like-
this is stuff that
yeah.
I don't think kids do nowadays.
No, they do.
Yeah, do
to
they?
cut weight? Yeah.
But not at 7.
No.
Yeah. So
Oh my
that,
God.
Yeah,
At
I was
7 years
7
old?
years old?
Oh, yeah, no, I wasn't getting that.
And don't like everyone's like, oh my God, that's
child abuse,
crazy.
yeah.
No, I
out.
begged my mom to let me do this. So do not go at my mom. I begged her to let me do this. She did not like it. She wasn't really with it, but she allowed me to do it, and it was a part of my process. So leave my mom alone. I can't believe you let them do that. Like, yeah, they'll go in on her. So don't do that
they'll
to
go
my
in
mom.
on anything.
They will,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, if they want to. So then what would your dad do to encourage you weight-wise or other? And was he around a lot?
At this particular point of time, he wasn't necessarily around. He was working his way back because there was a small portion of my early childhood where we just said he was on the road, but he was back at the island getting his stuff together, I guess. But then shortly thereafter, within the next year or so, he was there. Him and my mom weren't together, but he was always there. And that's
Yeah.
something that anybody who grew up in Pensacola would tell you. If my dad was coming to something, he was going to be there like way before call time. Yeah, like literally, like, man, I think I'm going to get some cereal. And then, is that Dad's
Dad?
van? Yeah. Like, oh God, he's already here. But yeah, my mom would get so mad too. Like, he's already here. We hadn't even, she's like doing her hair. Like, I haven't even started cooking yet. And he's already here. I'm like, all right, I better get some ice water.
Are you early like him?
No, but I do have like arrival anxiety. Like I do it to myself. This is a bad thing. Like, because I'm a little bit. Of
course, 'cause we do
always
all of it
late.
to ourselves,
I know.
yeah,
I know.
yeah.
I'm my own worst enemy. But I will be a little bit late, and then it drives me nuts. And I have like arrival anticipation. I'm just like, man, I need to hurry up and get there. I need to get there so I can just do whatever I'm going to do there. But like, I don't know. It's just anytime I'm traveling, I just want to hurry up and get to where I'm going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Paul's always very punctual.
Yeah.
Always on time. I grew up in a house where we weren't maybe so much on time ever, but
If I remember, we waited on him quite a bit.
Yeah.
He wasn't always late,
Yeah.
but he ran into he had his own time too.
he
That's
did.
good,
He
yeah.
did. And, but that's kind of how I grew up. And then I had to learn the lesson that, like, no, being late is actually being disrespectful to other people's time.
That's right.
And other people's time is just as important as your time. So be on time. So I did. I hope I've learned that lesson. Mostly, my mother-in-law would be laughing right now. What would you say is your fondest memory with Paul Heyman? In and out of the ring.
In the ring, it's tough because
So many moments.
Yeah, and I like someone asked me like, "What's my greatest moment?" And I can only just say the title reign because
Yeah, the whole thing.
The whole thing was
Yeah,
magical.
it really was.
So yeah, you could literally pick anything, but there's a portion of kind of almost every night, and this is kind of a gauge to how we know just how good it was or how good it could be, because during the entrance a lot of times he'd tell me like, because I don't slap my arm, you know,
Right, right.
but we all get them. Everybody
Of
gets
course.
the goosebumps. You get
Yes.
the goose flesh. And
When
he would
it's
always,
working.
and when it's
Yeah.
when it's that magic's happening for sure. And he would always point it out behind me. You could never see him say it, but he's like, "You got him again," or you know, he'd
Yeah.
say like, "I can see the goosebumps," and that feeling to be able to go through the storm together. You know what I mean? Get to the eye of the storm. I always cherish that. Outside the ring, just the conversations, you know. The long flights, you know, going to Saudi, you know, breaking bread and just talking, being around him and his kids too is very cool. I really enjoy just being a fly on the wall and hearing him talk to his children, how they talk to him, how their dialogue sounds and goes. Yeah, look, we named him the wise man for a reason, and if you're around him long enough, it's hard not to pick up a lot of just diamonds and gems. Although he drops them left and right.
He does,
you know,
he does.
And a lot of times there's intention behind it, but I think too, it's just who he is, and he doesn't even realize he's doing it. So,
I agree with that.
but I hate his guts, you know.
Well, I know. I remember a time, because Paul's obviously been around since my grandfather,
Yeah.
right,
Yep.
in various capacities. And in this particular moment, we were driving to a town, and it was my dad and I and Paul. And this is not like a story on my dad, but he had a moment where he was very upset with me for a reason, and he was letting me know in front of Paul. And long story short, the next week, because Paul was working for me at that time as a writer, which was always like a very funny dynamic anyway. And he would sit in my office and he would just drop nuggets of just knowledge. And we were talking about that moment, and I wasn't going to bring it up because it was embarrassing and everything else. And he said, "Steph, don't you understand that he's preparing you?" And I said, "What do you mean?" And I don't know that this was an intentional thing by my dad or not, but what Paul said was so true. He said, if you're not intimidated by Vince McMahon, you're not going to be intimidated by anybody. And I thought a lot about that, and it's really true. I'm not saying if somebody wasn't trying to attack me, I wouldn't be scared or intimidated, but meeting anybody, I don't care who it is, everybody's just a person.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. No, sharing a room with someone of that stature, of
Yes.
that fabric. I feel the same way. You know, that's who I like cut my teeth negotiating with, doing business with, was your dad. And that's how I feel. I'm not intimidated by anybody anymore.
Yeah.
And there were times where I had to get used to him, and we had to learn each other's ways.
Sure,
you know?
sure.
But I'm the youngest of all his top guys, you know, so I didn't have that relationship like a lot of the other guys were afforded in the time. But compared to like anybody else, you know, Hogan or Steve or Dwayne, those guys, I don't think I got as much of his time, but I was picking up as much knowledge as I could, even if he may not even realize it, but there's a lot of things that, you know, he said to me that I continue to use. I just tore it completely out of his playbook. And
Anything that
it's in
comes to
mine.
mind?
Well, he was one of the first now, and now it's reversed on me, actually. He would always tell me, and this is when I was so locked in at work, that wasn't holding up my end on the other side. And he would just tell me, you got to be present. When you go home, you have to be present. It doesn't matter what you do out here. You have to be present. And I took that to heart so much, and I've transformed that, you know, to being such a bigger part of my life, and the main thing, the priority, A1, to where sometimes it's the other way now. Now, it's hard not to be present when I'm not home, when I'm not with my children, when I'm, you know, that, because that's where I really want to be, is with my wife and my children, you know. But those were just one of those funny lessons of just seeing what he's talking about and then seeing it evolve in my own life, you know, as a young man. He'd always say, you want to be ahead of the curb, but not too far ahead of the curve.
Yeah, slightly ahead of the curve.
Yeah, slightly ahead of the curve. And
never too far ahead. People don't understand what you're doing, and certainly never behind.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And in just so many different ways, and especially in business, that has just rang true. So yeah, those are two.
Like, what's one of the biggest business lessons?
Well, that saying right there, it was one of the biggest business lessons with everything, whether it's creative, whether, you know, it could be anything within the business structure.
The being present piece?
No, the slightly ahead of the curve. Slightly ahead of the curve.
Yeah.
I mean, that's anybody who comes up with a genius idea, and, you know, anything that, you know, that's kind of what they're doing.
So what are you slightly ahead of the curve on now that you want to talk about, that you're working on?
It's hard to be able to truly say it, but I'm different than any superstar that's ever done it now. You know, it's always been, and I was told this early on, like, in order to really, like, go to the next level, and I don't consider myself at the next level by any means. There's still, like, plenty of rungs to grab, and plenty of levels to get to. But I wanted to be the first guy who could do both, as opposed to, and I know John did, and he did it his way, but to really be able to do both and, like, damn near lead a movie and then also still, you know, main event a pay-per-view, and to have that type of responsibility, because there's a lot riding on that. And I do understand, you know, there's insurances and all different things behind it.
Yeah.
But to be able to hold that type of responsibility and to be able to juggle both, I think that's you know, something that this generation, and hopefully I'm one of the first to be able to do it. So I don't want to stop being a WWE superstar in order to wear other hats. I'm always going to be a WWE superstar. I'm always going to be Roman Reigns. And I don't want to ever have to
choose.
Yeah, I don't feel like
you don't have to.
I don't. Well, I feel like in the past people had to make
in the
that
past
decision.
for sure, yeah. But I
don't-
also think there was a different perspective.
Sure.
You know.
Well, we're in a different place. The business is in
the business has
we've
evolved
and grown. So yeah. But that's kind of where I'm trying to be ahead of the curve, and then also, you know, this isn't a business thing, but it's a personal thing. It's the most personal thing, but really being able to balance home and road life, that's a
key priority.
That's a puzzle to figure out for a young performer traveling the world,
trying to make it.
100%. Yeah. I mean, the carrot's dangling and you're just constantly chasing it, and you're tunnel visioned on it. But to be able to, you know, be a professional in both regards, be a professional in your personal life too, you know.
Well, and kudos to you for being able to do that and for recognizing that, because it's something, you know, when I was interviewing John Cena, that he talked about, that he said was a lesson he had to learn the hard way. You know, and with his first wife, they'd be sitting at the coffee table, and if the office called and needed him, he'd be like, okay, bye.
Yep.
You know, and that was it.
Yep.
And it unfortunately didn't work out, you know, because he prioritized differently.
Yep.
You know, but you clearly prioritize your family, and everybody knows you as a family man. And I think that's an incredible reputation to have that not many, you know, men in your position especially have. And it speaks to your character and who you are. And I think that's very rare. And I think it's awesome.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, well, I followed, like, John was the man before me, you know what I mean? So having someone who never said no, always available, phoners in an hour, yep, I'm on it, you know what I mean?
And that sets the example then, though,
that
for
set
what
the
you
tone.
want.
That was the standard, and I was the guy that was supposed to follow this up, and I did my best for as long as I could, but at the end of the day, I had to just be true to me. I had to be authentic to who I was, and then also, you know, like this place needed me to be a superstar, not one of the boys. So I had to like figure that out as well, and find that happy medium of, okay, this serves everybody, but it's right for me and it's authentic to me and who I am. And at the end of the day, if we want to have something original, if we want to have something organic and that's never been done before, I can't emulate somebody else. I have to do it my way, respectfully, but it's got to be mine, you know?
And how do you get to that place? Because I think it's very rare for somebody to be able to take that step back and say just that, right? I'm going to do it my way and deliver the best I possibly can everywhere, right? But I have to be true to myself, and I'm going to be one of one, and I'm going to be an original. Like, that's a huge risk to take.
Oh yeah. Well, I think you have to get to the point where you're willing to bet on yourself. You have to be prepared. And that's what this place did to me, is it prepared me in every facet to get to the point where I was standing at the edge of the cliff and like, I don't care if I got a parachute. I'm going to fly one way or the other. I'm not going to, if I jump, it's not going to be the end. I know that. So it wasn't blind faith, you know what I mean? Because I knew I had the 10,000 hours. I knew that I was right there, just on the cusp of doing something special. And once I had that, then I had proof of concept. Then I have like, no, it's real. I did it. I can do it again. But I think you have to prepare yourself and you have to put the work in. At the end of the day, you have to put the reps in. You have to grind it out. You have to get your 10,000 hours, and you have to kind of get close to a mastery of what you're trying to do before you can truly go all in on it.
And you talked about the 10,000 hours. That's Malcolm Gladwell, right? You can be an expert, and if you do it for 10,000 hours.
Sure, yeah.
You know. But preparation and putting in the work, I'd love to know, because I've never actually seen somebody prepare the way that you do for a role. Like the way you get into character, how seriously you take it, the thought that you put into it, the look, the way you make your body look. I mean, just everything, I think, is such a different level. And you spoke to it, obviously, but what are the keys to, helping someone else be prepared? What is the process? What do you think through when you're getting ready to do anything big?
I'll just speak on what we do. I mean, a lot of it for me is just kind of based off of what we were just speaking about, is having the experience. And this isn't going to be great advice for someone who's day one or week one, but having the experience of doing something for a long time. And then once you've done something over and over and over, it gets broken down into a full, like, structured day, right? Of, okay, I got to do this thing and then that thing and then this thing. And the first time you're thinking about this thing and that thing and this thing and that thing. But then once you've done it enough, I no longer think about this thing, because that's just,
now it's
that's
second
done.
nature.
Yeah. And then that thing up, we've already kind of made that a process and a system, so we don't think about that. And then that other deal over there, we delegated it, so now that's not even on my plate. And so you get, like, where you've done things so many times, you know how to clean it up, make it like when we're talking, we do our promos, I'm always thinking, like, how do I tighten it up, because I'm so wordy? How do I make it more concise, to the point, so I'm not lulling? How do I get, and then have another good point to, like, serve that,
And even the looks you give, and the timing of it.
Yeah.
Like and the time in between of a silent pause, and how you can actually just bring the crowd in, and it's just a look. Like how much do you think about that in advance, or is that just a feel when you're out there?
That used to be stuff I would think about, but it kind of, like, to compare it to something, when I first started wrestling, like in the Shield, and I would watch the film, like, of when we were in the ring, I would watch every step. every single step. Like, and my wife wouldn't be able to watch it back with me because it would rewind.
Annoy her so much.
I would watch it I'd watch it like football tape, and like, but we didn't have like the good
Right,
good film stuff. So like, I'd miss the rewind, and then I'd like, oh god, sorry, hold on, one more time. But I would just keep watching down.
There's no scrolling.
I'd be like, why does that take that step? Why did I do that with my arm? I'm so like precise and meticulous on all these little things that I saw. And I would do the same thing with like my facial expressions. And your dad used to be like, don't do that so much. Like, your face can be too expressive sometimes. And it can be. And sometimes I have to reel it in and make it a little less. But that just became a system to where we don't think about it now. Now I've been in enough, environments. I've been in enough, segments to where I've probably done that type of look before, and if I haven't, I'm excited about giving a new look. You know what I mean? Like,
Blue Steel.
Yeah, exactly.
Was that what it was? You saw it here.
Rock music. Yeah. Cut that. Cut it.
That's the clip.
But
I saw the purse look.
That's when Brock's music goes off. That's the face right there. The Zoolander look. But yeah, those just become instincts, and they become experiences that become instincts, and I just try to rely on those. I try to trust them.
Isn't that the whole point of doing all the preparation, right? It's doing the reps over and over and over again, so it becomes second nature. So when you're in the moment, you don't have to think, you just react.
You can say fuck it and go for it.
Yeah.
That's I mean, at the end of the day, that's what it is. Like, do it, rep it out. Don't let your brain get too far in front of you, and then at the end of the day, it's time to jump. Let's go. What happens, and it's in God's hands now, and we always hope for the best. Say your prayer and then get in there and do it.
And how important is saying your prayer? How important is faith in your life?
It's everything. We've talked about a lot of main things, but nothing's possible without God, and whether you're Christian, Muslim, whoever your God is, if you believe in Jesus Christ as the Son of God, I think at the end of the day, it's important that we have like a true North Star, a belief in something bigger, because I think that's just, I don't know, I think there's just human, we're just wired that way. We need something that's bigger than us, something, that we're working towards, I believe. And then it also brings in community. So yeah, I think it's everything. I think any successful family or person understands that God is making all this happen. So whether you're religious or not, I think it's important to believe in a higher power, and I specifically believe in God. I believe, Jesus Christ is the Son of God. He died for our sins. I was born and raised Catholic. I'm not as practicing as I'd like to be,
Us Catholics never are.
I know. And we got the good setup too. We're not, man. I go to my wife is Russian Orthodox, and we're up in there forever.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like 3 hours in. It's like, man, are they serving too? Are we gonna eat or what? Like at Mass, at Catholic Mass, 45 minutes. If Father's a little long-winded and he's trying to get his promo in, it might go an hour. Then you got your religious days, your holidays. So, but yeah, we really have it the best, and still can't get my ass to church.
Can't get it quite right. That's all right.
We're getting there. We're getting there.
You're getting there. When it comes to busy schedules, sometimes all we've got is a couple minutes. Factor helps me eat smarter with tasty, chef-prep meals that are dietitian approved and delivered right to my door. And now with more than 65 weekly meals made for how I live and what I like to eat, I've got even more ways to fit in a real meal wherever the day takes me. Choose from a wide selection of weekly meal options, including new Mediterranean diet options packed with protein and good-for-you fats. From more choices to better nutrition, that's why 97% of customers say that Factor helped them live a healthier life. Feel the difference, no matter your routine. You absolutely need to get this product today for a healthier lifestyle. It's quick, simple, and delicious that ultimately can change your life. Eat smart at factormeals.com/Steph50off and use code STEPH50OFF to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box. That's code STEPH50OFF at factormeals.com for 50% off plus free shipping. Get delicious, ready-to-eat meals delivered with Factor.
Yeah, I was going to mention before when you brought up Georgia Tech. So obviously you're a big name in WWE, but I don't know if you know how big of an impact you had on two different people that you played with and played for. So first we'll bring up now coaching the Rams, Giff Smith.
When I reflect back on Joe Anaway back in the days at Georgia Tech, probably the biggest thing that stands out to me is how tough he was. He had the ability to understand the game, execute the calls up front, and bring a toughness that still is so important in this game. Joe had just a unique ability about himself. He grew the hair out, looked cool, big, strong, athletic, smart. He had all the intangibles. I remember going down to Auburn. He about killed a guy in that game. One of the hardest hits till this day, even being in the league, that I've ever seen. He's an awesome family guy. I get to speak with him every so often, and grateful for that friendship and grateful that it's lasted throughout these years. He's somebody, as a dad that I have and husband, tremendous respect for. But man, what a joy. Joe has excelled in his career, but there's so many special things about him, and I can't say anything other than nice things about him. Just grateful for my time with him. He made me a better coach. He made Georgia Tech special in that run, and he's a legend, and I wish him nothing but the best. And like I said at the start, I'm just grateful that I got to be a part of his life. He made a huge impact on my life, and he was a dog. Now, there's no two ways to say it. That man was a dog, not just in the ring or wrestling, but on the gridiron. He was the real deal.
Yeah, that was my defensive line coach, Coach Giff Smith. He came to Georgia Tech my sophomore year, and my freshman coach wasn't a bad guy. We just weren't gelling. I was a freshman, and I probably deserved. He was all over my ass all the time. And then when Giff came in,
probably because he saw something in you.
100%.
Yeah.
And I ended up being even closer to. This was Coach Spencer actually, down the road. So it was nice to be able to reconnect with him. But man, having Coach Giff come in was just godsend, because he just knew how to communicate with me, and that was just one of his. And you would have never known it, but he was a great defensive lineman for, I believe, Georgia State at the time back in his day. Just someone who understood, and to hear those things from him, they were coached into me from him. That was something as a defensive lineman down in the trenches. It's a little bit different than it is today. It's still a violent sport, but it's much safer. We
use the word aggressive.
No, we don't.
In WWE, we don't say
that's
violent.
That's old WWE.
It's
Yeah. God, you just can't say violent. He told me that before. Yeah. No, we don't do that no more. It's violent as hell.
My character wasn't kidnapped. I was abducted.
I know, right?
Because there's a big difference.
At the local medical facility.
Yes. Not a hospital.
But yeah, Giff was, he was the man I needed in my life at that time, that just was able to connect with me. His communication with me was flawless. Everything that he was trying to get into my head, it sank in.
Like what?
Everything.
Yeah.
At that age, you know what I mean? At
right?
20, 18, 19, 20 years old, a young man like that, especially a young alpha bull,
strong-willed,
pretty dumb young man, no, it doesn't matter, it's not going to hurt me, I'll run through that, just very too much testosterone going on. But everything a young man needs to hear. It seemed like Giff always had a cool way of doing it, to where it wasn't like, oh, he's lecturing me.
Right.
And he wasn't never like that. And he was
he a storyteller?
Oh yeah, absolutely, for sure. And I think that goes back to any great communicator, any good coach, any good public speaker. They're always able to like do analogies or like pull their own, personal story and connect those dots for you. But yeah, Giff was, Coach Giff Smith was, and still to this day, I still speak with him. I need to hit him up now. I'm actually going to do it today.
You definitely need to.
But yeah, he's still coaching. He's still a great coach.
Well, and he's at the Rams now.
He's with the Rams. He's been with the Rams for a while. I think he was with, they're LA too. He was with the Chargers. Yeah, he filled in, I think, as an interim coach a couple years ago, I want to say. Yeah. But yeah, just a great guy. Really great guy.
He clearly loves you.
Man, and he was one of the many coaches that I had, and that kind of ties back to those years where I didn't have my dad around. All these other men, whether they were in my community or at my ballpark, one of my, growing up, one of my greatest coaches of all time was my baseball coach, Kevin Freeland. He coached me on Dive Pros for like 8 years in a row. That was our team, the Dive Pros. Yeah, we were sponsored by a dive shop, his dive shop. And this man would he would give me a ride home any day we needed it. The twins too, they know Coach Freeland. But we had so many of those men in our lives that helped out and were great mentors, great coaches. I was fathered by a random set of coaches throughout my entire life, and like your dad, I took little pieces from all of these men. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm a thief. I steal all the good stuff.
Right?
All the good stuff. I try to at least.
That's important.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to steal the best.
That's just being human right there. You're passing it on, but I just didn't wait for you to actually do it. I just got it before you knew you were going to teach me it. So,
has Coach Giff ever seen you in the ring?
Yeah, he's come to a few shows here and there. But yeah, he's been in the back and everything.
Did he give you a hard time?
Yeah.
At first, yeah. But thank God, we came in as the Shield, so we came in cool, and there was never a point where it's like, man, you're just out there in underwear.
Phase,
yeah. I never had that, just trunks, huh? All right. Cool. It was always kind of a cool look, and then, we did the post-Shield, and then finally we came out of the vest years later, but I never had, where it was like too embarrassing. But FCW, I did that. I did all that.
That's right. Yeah.
I was in the skimpies. Yeah.
Skimpies.
And you felt more confident in the pants?
I don't know about.
It's not a confidence thing.
Yeah, well, at that point, I don't know if confidence was even in yet.
Yeah, okay.
We hadn't repped that one out.
There.
We were just trying to fake it and I'm confident.
Well, you used to talk a lot of shit to me in the ring.
You slapped only because I knew if I didn't, you'd slap me 15 times in a row.
We were on the same
Run the
page
track,
at first,
and then busted my eardrum too.
Oh man,
I believe it.
Shattered that sucker. The doctor was like, "Oh yeah,
Well, don't fuck with me."
That's right. That's right. Hey, if you're gonna hit somebody, hit them.
I'm just saying. Yeah. Well, and you guys all taught me that. It was, I think it was Foley the first time.
Your first few were good. They were good workers.
Right, and then I just got carried away or something.
I don't know who's
because you weren't selling for me, and I was like,
young bull. Yeah. Now just down for a day. Oh God!
Finally,
I'll be in the theater. Leave me alone.
I feel like
where's Daddy selling in the theater?
I was gonna say, I feel like you caught a spear back.
Oh yeah. You got me at WrestleMania.
We left it for the big one.
We did. It was big pop.
That was awesome.
Yeah. My hair was stuck in my jacket.
Yes.
You had all kinds of stuff going on.
I did.
Yeah. Jackie, you were working hard that day.
Yeah.
But you had because you did the full intro.
I did that.
Too,
that was crazy. The Skull Queen. That was so fun. Oh my God. To be able to write that promo too and just make everybody sheep and bow down and I love it.
God, it's so good. Yeah.
She was practicing in the office. We all were.
Yeah.
It's good. As a bad guy, if you just imagine your royalty.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I think we come from the same. We have the same mindset of I know that as
it was good.
Like prime tribal chief run, or like championship run. Same people were beneath me. It felt good.
Such good heat.
It was just a good character feeling. Yeah, I loved it.
Well, there is somebody who talked about your faith.
Arguably one of the best, Calvin Johnson.
What up, though, Joe? So, Joe Anaway, I remember meeting Joe my first time at Georgia Tech when I was coming in just on my official visit to meet all the guys and the coaches. And I just remember seeing Joe in the corner and just sitting down there. And I was like, who's this guy? Stoic expression on his face, swole, long flowing hair, Samoan dude, just looking like he's ready to break somebody in half. I'm like, my next thought was like, well, at least he's on my team. But anyways, we became co-captains together. And I just think about all the times walking out to the middle of the field with our mirror visors on, the intimidation factor that we had to elicit upon the other team. And, just thinking about Joe as a player, Joe was obviously a leader on our defense. He made plays for our defense. He was constantly getting his hands on the quarterback, getting his hands on the ball. And, Joe was an effort guy. He was a great attitude guy. He was a relentless guy. And he was a man of faith. And that's what I love most about Joe. Because with that faith, without that faith, I don't know where Joe's story goes. Joe had his cancer battle, and I truly believe that it was through his faith, his family, all his support system, that he was able to take, what some people might view, as a failure or something or a huge obstacle, and turn that into a big win. Joe, I commend you. I admire you from watching your story. Obviously, like I say, you're a hardworking guy, effort guy, a man of faith. But it was that faith, I feel like, that turned you around, allowed you to realign after your health struggles, and really refocus in on your goals, on your family, and you can tell the love that you put into the work that you put into everything because of where you are now. Because these things they don't just happen. They're not just overnight successes, and it takes work. It's a process, and I understand that you went through a process to get to where you are today. So kudos to you, man. Because I know it wasn't easy, but you showed everybody it can be done, man. Stay blessed, brother.
Yeah, he's a man. He just described himself too. So like that's what was cool about Tech is, for the most part, especially my class, he was a year younger than me. We were all very like-minded, and when you can get those type of young men together, it's just
with great
good.
coaching too,
100%. Yeah, and they always say it. You have your fraternities and sororities in college, but that's what a football team, a sports team, is its own frat. And to have that type of brothership, to have that type of fellowship, to be able to lean on those type of guys, and we're all going through stuff.
Sure.
We weren't talking about mental health back in the day, but like we were all going through our growing pains of becoming young men.
Everyone coming from different places.
Absolutely,
Different
and all
things
meeting up
happen
in
to you.
Atlanta.
Yeah.
I'm just a little beach boy, from Pensacola, Florida, thinking I'm gonna like figure it out up here in the city. But having, just as he said, only God can like position things like this, where it's just that overall, that eagle view that we just don't understand. We think we are good storytellers until we hear God's story for us, and they were like, "Man, I need to keep working."
I didn't see that coming at all.
That's how you twist and turn right there, boy. That's how you write creative. That's how I feel about my story, man. Honestly, I could have never wrote it. If it was up to me, it would have been defensive tackle for the 49ers, probably got 8 years, and I don't know, I probably would have blew all my money by now. I would have been out of league for 10 years and be thinking about what's next. But God's plan was just so much greater for me. And as CJ said, I believe in trying to, I believe in putting in the work and going through the process and trying to do it, but you're never alone. You're never doing it by yourself. God's always got us in, under his wing, you know what I mean? No matter what I do, before I flew out today, I said kind of the same prayer I always say. I told him, how many we have on the jet today? We had 3 other souls. So I told him, be my 5th. There's plenty of room on here. Take any seat. I'll get up if you need me to. But ride with me. Fly with me. Perform with me. Speak with me. And then get me home. And then even when we get in the truck, make sure I'm driving good too, if you don't mind. Yeah, God, I mean, I don't know. You know, I've been very, very fortunate. He's kind of smart. A guy told me a while ago, you know, that we're blessed men. You know, are your children healthy?
Yeah.
We're blessed men. You're a blessed woman. And that's all just due to God, you know. Not to get preachy or nothing, but that's just how I feel.
Yeah, no, that's your faith and your belief, and it's beautiful.
Thank you.
And how did it, you know, if you're comfortable talking about it, you know, like you said, right, you have unexpected bumps in the road, unexpected things, twists and turns that happen, and here you were, this very strong bull, you know, who's very successful in football, clearly going to have a career in football, and then you find out that physically you have cancer. Especially as a young man. How do you deal with that information? How do you overcome the fear, the change, the unknown? You know, how do you deal with that? Or how did you deal with that?
I compartmentalized to my mama. Honestly, I mean, that's when, so I'm at the Minnesota Vikings camp. All that's like, football is like crescendoing. It's like, this is it. Like, it's all boiled up to this point of
What you've worked towards.
You need to make this team. Yeah. I mean, it was all the marbles were in the basket. So I was so full on that I don't think I even accepted the news properly. I don't even think I took the diagnosis.
And they found it because you did a physical?
Yeah, well, with the physical, we did extensive blood work, and it wasn't even like in like the molecular testing, or it was just in the blood lab, like the CBC. My white blood cells were, what were they this time? I think they're like 70,000 at that point. And I mean, healthy people, you're not fighting off any like sickness or anything. I think you sit in between like 4,000 and like 10,000, 11,000, something like that. So my body was fighting something. Yeah.
And you didn't feel sick?
No, that's the thing. Is because it's cancer of the blood. Was I a little tired? Probably. But I was also 300 pounds, college guy. You know, we were drinking beer every other day.
Sure. Going hard.
Yeah. We were doing college stuff and being a football guy. But yeah, it was just one of those situations because I didn't feel it. I wasn't going through chemo. I didn't have to do like true radiation. There was a large bit of like what I believe they call imposter syndrome, of people feeling bad for me. And I'm like, don't feel bad, and you shouldn't have something, because like there's little children who are going through, you know, thank God I'm lucky enough to take a medication, but I don't know, I think it was just
more
mental.
Get there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But it was just a situation, I think, because I had so much going on in my life, and it's just honestly always been that way, that I've never been able to just let it sit on me and just be that rain cloud. It's always been like, well, I have this thing pulling me over here, so like that bad part of my life is kind of over there somewhere, but I'm currently over here dealing with this other stuff. So I just always stayed on the positive stuff.
You never felt sorry for yourself or anything?
Oh, sure. Yeah, I'm sure there was definitely, but never wallowed in
there.
it. Never stay there. Yeah, always. I mean, to this day, I mean, there's times, you know, where you're battling whatever it is, you know, and it could be something far less serious. Something I used to go through a couple years ago was like post-performance downs a little bit, because I went from working every single night, almost every show. So like, we always had another show. So like, I had to get juiced up for this next show. But then once everything changed, pandemic, all of that, and then the contract started getting restructured and the dates became less, and I would do a big date and then I would be home for, you know, like a month with no like crazy stimulus, no dopamine, no adrenaline rush, no pop. And it would put me in the dumps a little bit. And so I learned how to like structure my way through that. Like, well, no, we don't just we didn't finish. We're just working towards the next date
Right.
now. So we're just
Right.
right back in now. So I built like things to fix that. But yeah, we're
But
always
that's an
going through stuff all
intentional
the time.
mindset.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I'm never trying to stay, like, I understand happiness is not a constant state. We experience moments of happiness, but whatever that is, that middle ground or where you're not feeling much at all, that's kind of where we're at all the time. And you have to figure out how to spike that happiness or know when it's happening, and then also know when you're not in that mode and you need to, get yourself out of whatever you're in. So
it is.
I think just being truthful with yourself and being completely honest of where you're at mentally helps where you don't bullshit yourself.
Right.
Because we'll do that to ourselves greater than anybody. I'll buy my shit better than any.
Oh, yeah. We can convince ourselves of
I sold myself water earlier,
Yeah.
what I mean? Yeah. But yeah, it's just one of those things. I think that was different though, because it was
very real.
so heavy.
Yeah.
Yes. And like, I guess anytime mortality kind of gets put on the, on the line, and you have to think about that, that sends you down a different type of head trip. But I think I was just so young, and thank God for my mom. I can't give her enough credit. The fact that I had her shoulders to like put this burden on and have her like carry the brunt of the stress.
God bless her.
God bless her.
Yeah.
Over and over and over again, because to this day she's probably worried about me right
I
now.
mean,
Like, what's
yeah,
he doing?
I've
I
got
don't know. Like,
goosebumps right now because I can't imagine,
I don't ever want to imagine how my
No.
mom felt, and I don't want to ever go through any of that with my own. But thank God I had her. Thank God I had all of my family, all of them, because like Calvin said, it was my mom, it was my sisters, it was God just gluing it all together to make sure that this safety net that was surrounding me there was no holes in it. They weren't gonna let me slip through. So that was it was a hell of a time. It really was.
Do you think that going through that is probably one of the main reasons why you are the successful family man, huge, giant megastar, and family man that you are today, that you know what matters. You know what matters most to you. And how important is knowing what matters most?
I think for anybody, I wouldn't say just for a young man, anybody in leadership, you need to know what the goal is, where you're trying to go, because you have people in tow, and as a father, as a husband, that was something that wasn't learned fast enough or early enough, but it was learned. But I can't just credit it to one thing. All these things happen for a reason.
Yeah.
And I'm the type that I do regret stuff. I do regret decisions, behaviors, many things that I've done through my life.
We're all human.
Absolutely.
Right. We all make
that's why I don't
mistakes
judge, because I
yeah.
get it. Like, I understand it. But I'm one of those type that beat themselves up about stuff. And I always remember, I'll forgive, but I will remember, and I'm talking about towards myself.
Yep.
I'm actually very easy to forgive others, but for myself, I hold on to things, and I will torture myself a little bit.
Yeah, too much, maybe.
A little bit, a little bit. But I think that's good, and it keeps
some
you
ways.
honest. Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I think the reminder.
As long as it doesn't rip you down.
Exactly, yeah.
Once you start, if it becomes a cycle, then that's not helpful.
If you can't,
Learn
then
the
you're just
lesson.
losing.
Yeah.
If there's no
Yeah.
lesson there, then you're just losing, and you're just staying in that state. And I don't like that. But if I can learn from the mistake, I don't like saying, I had to make that
Maybe
mistake.
you'll make
Yeah.
enough mistakes that it'll be like reps, and you can just learn the lesson and not have to dwell on it so much that it hurts you.
Well, and then what irritates me is you could have learned that from the guy in front of you. You know what I mean? Like,
Sometimes
it's
you
an old
can.
football thing.
Yeah.
Like when I'm on the cans and we're doing our walkthroughs, that's how I learned how to play football, was watch the guy in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been blessed with that opportunity to watch many great men in front of me, and then I still touch the hot stove. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
it's just
but
one of
you're
those
gonna,
things.
I mean, come on.
I know. Just give me a little bit of what
There
goes
were
on.
probably
The
a lot of
internal struggle
examples
here,
that
you know?
maybe weren't the best also. So,
Sure.
you know, there's many
that's
paths.
the other
many
side too,
paths,
is like
yeah.
knowing that's a great example of knowledge and you know, like
Learning what
intellect.
not to do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like seeing mistakes and identifying those as others' mistakes and not repeating that. So it is what it is. But it's all a part of that process. Like you said, it's all a learning process. And as long as you are learning from it, you can get knowledge from anywhere.
That's right.
You can become better in any capacity, as long as you're just willing to review God's tape a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Watch it back and think about it, and I wouldn't want someone to treat me like that.
Right.
Maybe I shouldn't do stuff like that. Simple stuff. It
You
can be
learn.
anything.
Yeah. Kindness matters.
100%.
Yeah.
Steph and I were talking about this earlier. You probably do not remember, but when I started with WWE, I was working in talent relations. It was when you and Triple H were main eventing at
Okay.
WrestleMania 32. So at the time,
The aforementioned.
yes, we're going back there. So at the time, I was told that you were a big deal, and I'm new in
Oh,
talent relations, and
right.
they're like, you need to make sure this guy has a suite, you need to talk to him to take care of everything. So I'm like, okay, he's a big deal. I'm preparing to talk to some asshole, honestly.
Oh, no.
So, some
AKA,
very
yeah.
demanding person.
I was-
Yes.
And
Yes.
the
What were these
point
things I
is-
demanded? I don't remember. Yeah, I don't
No,
think I was
my-
demanding
that's just
anything
the way
back
it
in
was
the
set up, yeah.
Sorry, my point was you were not that at all. And just talking about being kind and true to who you were.
What year was this? I think I know who was talking to you.
Yes, you do. Yes, you
I
do.
Yep.
But so just the simple, I was set up poorly, but you were so kind, and I'm like, okay,
Thank you.
this guy's a huge deal, and he's just talking about feeding his family and making sure they're all set up with tickets, and I remember that because I'm expecting someone who's
A monster to
Yeah.
come by, yeah. I'm glad
just-
I wasn't that. but
no,
thank
not at
you.
all. And he's like,
Could have been a
shit,
totally
Yeah,
different
you were a
story.
straight asshole.
fun time. To
So
bring
glad
up.
you've learned.
Yeah.
That was
You didn't
not
have
one
to
of
deal with
your
me last
mistakes.
Mania, huh?
No, 10 years ago though.
Vegas is different than Dallas now, yeah. A lot of Samoans in Vegas now.
I've since
That
left.
sweet needs
Yeah,
to grow.
yeah. You don't want to be in that department either.
Nope.
Trying to relate to talent is one of the hardest things to do. It really is. That's not an easy job. But probably who's giving you directions wasn't very good at it.
Yeah,
anyways.
maybe not the best.
Not,
That's okay though.
But
But
very.
I'm glad I wasn't an asshole.
No,
Yeah, that would've
no,
been
and that's why I was
embarrassing.
like, all right,
I wouldn't have let her tell that
Just
story.
put on do another little Georgia Tech interview. Well, you lost all those great qualities from Tech. Yeah,
this guy told me. No.
yeah.
But yeah, I just
Those football guys are liars because he's an asshole. Yeah.
play the third tape.
But you talk about, your family and your bigger family too, because you've talked to me a lot about what it means to represent the bloodline.
Oh, yeah.
And all of those who have come before you and all of those yet to come and all of those who are there right now, and that pool seems to just be growing. How heavy is the head that wears the crown? And how do you have to think about your decisions differently as it relates to even just work, right? And leading the way as the OTC, right? But what does that mean to you? What are the different facets you have to think about? What are the lenses that you go through? Because you are so meticulous in how you approach things. I don't think anything's light. I'm just going to go out and do this. It always seems very intentional.
Yeah, I mean, I try to be very well thought out. I try to, think a couple times before we make the cut. but yeah, that's the you know this role, the role of leadership, having people that you work with that, and it doesn't matter if they're under you or supporting you. We're all in this together, and I come from a team
mentality.
That's
yeah.
the way I learned, and I played like a not glorious position by any means, defensive tackle. So a lot of times I was taking the heat for other guys to make the play. But I see that same, you know, I can see how that process works here. That's exactly what we do. Like,
that's right.
You have to, you know, you're giving your body, you're giving, you know, this creative, you're laying down essentially for another performer. You're doing everything you can to make them a bigger deal than they were before. So yeah, it's stressful. It's definitely, you know, I'll get calls, ask, what's your opinion on this? I'm like, I had no clue I was involved in that, you know. So, but like, you want my opinion? Here's what I think about it.
You have to show up.
Yeah, you have to show up. You have to be a part of it. You got to be present.
In all things, right?
All things,
Yeah.
yes, because you never know which thing's going to be the thing you're most interested in. You know, there was a point where I could not ever stop thinking about wrestling and what, you know, these little things that I'm learning, or crowd control, or public speaking. There's just so many different facets to go down the rabbit hole and like try to master. But yeah, I mean, it's one of those situations where I just try to lead by example. I try to represent my family at the highest level. That way my cousins can see what I'm doing, and then I might steal a page from his playbook because he seems to be pretty successful at it. Like, oh, Joe's doing all right. Like, let me see if I can take something that he's doing and make it a lot easier on my life and my family. So I'm always just trying to represent, and some of it's a little bit competitive. I want to be the best too.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to just like, I've had to compete with the twins my whole life, and I'm not trying to just be another twin. No offense to them. I'm trying to stand out. And I've heard Josh say it, I heard Jay say it, like, you don't want to be the dull animal in the zoo. You want to be the one that gets all the attention. And that's what this place is a giant zoo circus. And we're trying to get as many eyes
Zoo
on
and circus,
Yeah, it's a both.
yes.
Yeah, it's a little bit of both. Yeah. It's crazy like the circus, but it's big, you know, and there's all kinds of different exotic animals here.
That's the truth. Yes.
So I just, if I take care of my business right, I will be able to lay out a beautiful blueprint. And obviously, they got to do it their own way. But there's a lot of things. Look, your dad wasn't like a wrestler per se. He did wrestle, you know, back in his day, but like he wasn't running a system where I could like pull all these wrestling things from.
Right.
I had to take like, you know, from a different angle and like, oh, well, let me repurpose that and make it fit into my life, you know, or into the hat that I wear. So no, they're not going to be able to just copycat me 100%, but they can see all the different things I've gone through and hopefully use that as, you know, just a boost of experience to help them out, or just ask me. That's another beautiful thing, is I'm just a phone call, a text away. Anything that they ever need to pick, you know, out of my brain and figure out my take on it, I'm available. So whatever we have to do to continue to keep my family synonymous with WWE, to be, you know, in business with the McMahons, you know, and even more so than that, the Khans, the Hemsleys, the Emmanuels.
The Levesques.
Yeah, the Levesques, yeah.
I know. It's
I know, I
crazy.
call him H, so I'm one of them. Occasionally I call him Paul too, but yeah, for the most part, it's
Yeah,
just
well,
H.
when we first were dating, I knew him as Hunter.
Yeah.
To start calling him Paul was only after we got
that weird?
engaged. Totally weird.
Oh man,
Yeah, he was Hunter.
yeah, that's strange.
Like, yeah.
That's a weird little relationship thing to go
Right?
through.
Well, and we were married and divorced already, so yeah.
do it,
it was-
practice. See, you know what that was.
I
good,
did. We knew
though,
what to
yeah.
expect. A little dry run. Yeah. So, I mean, we've talked about some serious things, but there was a very serious family drama that, you know, we learned about recently, and that has to do with your sister and a guinea pig.
Oh shit, we're going.
It was a gerbil. What did the twins tell you? What they say?
I was like, where is she going?
Yeah, no, man.
Set up.
Which one said? This is Jim, wasn't it?
Yeah, maybe Big Jim had a
Alright.
comment or two.
He had a lot of comments. I
He
saw.
did,
The internet
he
was
did,
telling
yeah.
on him. What did he say? What did he say about my gerbil? Yeah, my sister was so mean to this gerbil.
Yeah, that's pretty much the story.
Kicked it.
She kicked it.
And then he thought that was maybe why.
All right, internet. This is what we're gonna do. You're gonna take my side and not my sister's. All right. So, all right. I had a little gerbil. Ugly little thing. Right? He was my guy.
Yeah.
And I just thought it was
your
so
pet.
cool. Like, in their little aquarium, all the little wood chips. You give him the little, he's got the stuff. His little
tube.
playground.
Yeah,
little wheel. And
was so
then
cute.
and then we bought him the little clear ball that he could
roll
be out
around in,
in.
yeah.
Exactly. And I don't know what my sister, we were but
Sure,
we were
yep,
doing
as
that.
they-
We were
as-
doing that
as
thing,
siblings do.
and she just went and kicked it off. She did a full kickoff, and Pat McAfee'd it across the living room. Yeah, and thank God this thing was sturdy. It didn't break. I forget the gerbil's name, but I was hot.
Sunshine.
And then what else did he tell you? Did he tell you about the retaliation? What I got in trouble for?
No.
Oh, okay, good. We'll just leave that out. All right, internet, we're gonna tell you
we
the
like to
even
hear
worse
it.
stuff. But so I'll just tell all myself.
Okay,
Anyways,
all right.
And first of all, let me just say this first. I was not gonna hurt her. First of all, she was bigger than me. She was like already.
You were gonna mess with your
my
sister.
Yeah, my sisters are 6-footers, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, they're
Yeah.
tall women and strong women, and I don't even think I hit puberty at this point. So I was quick work by then. Summer was beating my ass at this point in my life. But we had, like any place, we had the state fair, right? And I was terrified to ride the rides. I only like to play the games. And there was one particular game that I really loved to play as my sister was riding all these stupid rides that get taken down every 2 weeks. So you
Because they
should not-
break. Yeah, exactly, yeah.
So I would play the knife game. And you just ring the knives. And I just sit there all night, like curly fry.
Would you
ring the
win?
knives. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah?
I was ringing those things.
Oh,
Yeah, I was
that's
sinking
tough.
them. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, it got to the point where like I'd come home with like 5 knives a year. You know what I mean? So after a few years of
Right,
this,
so
I
you
got
have
like
a
a
knife
collection. I got a little
collection,
collection going
yes,
on
yes.
here. And she pissed me off so bad. I went and got those knives and I came out like a Ninja Turtle. Oh boy, yeah. And then Junior found out. Oh. And I think this was this was the first time he had to like talk to me.
Ooh.
And Junior, being Rikishi, the twins' dad,
Yeah.
was very intimidating for us back in the day.
I'm sure. A talking to is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I hated that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Junior was he had
Yeah.
just that look that we were terrified. There were times we got trapped in a room because we didn't want to walk by him. Yeah, I know. Yeah. And this is us. Yeah. Like, we're not like little runts running around here, but yeah, Junior used to have us intimidated. But yeah, he had to sit me down like, Joe, what are you doing? What's going on here? You pulled knives on your sister? I'm like, she kicked my gerbil. It was in the clear ball. Yeah, kicked it.
Did you guys ever talk about it? Was he ever like, he had to, cover his mouth talking to you? Because it was.
No, well, he was mad at
He was mad.
Yeah, he didn't.
Did
like,
you actually come at your sister with the knives, or you just held him like a threat?
I approached for
You did.
sure.
Okay,
Yeah.
so there
Like,
was
we
like-
closed the distance,
there
but it
was
was
a
like
potential
but we were
bloodbath.
working it back
Yeah,
then.
okay,
You know
all
what I
right,
mean?
all
Yeah,
right.
she didn't let me get too close. We kept a little
But
buffer
yet,
there. We were,
yeah.
But we had good blocking going on there. Hard cam was about it. But yeah, he was not cool with that, and nor should he have been. And I
No,
wasn't
definitely
gonna do
not.
it. I wasn't going to do anything. I just needed to.
You had to, you had to have some kind of.
It was messed up.
Yeah, that is messed
It was
up.
messed up.
Yeah.
I would never do that to any pet.
No, I thought my
crazy.
brother was bad when he ripped. I had Big Dog was my big stuffed animal protector
Okay.
and slept with me and was my my go-to
Mm-hmm.
love. I loved Big Dog, right? And he had this little red tongue that stuck out. And my brother thought it was the funniest thing to rip Big Dog's tongue off while I watched and begged him not to. And it was like a little bit at a time. So it was
just
like
tugging
torture.
at it. Yeah, you just see it pushing the stuffing back in. Yeah.
And then finally he rips it off. And I hate you.
Oh, yeah.
And then, now his feelings are hurt. Oh, you hate me. Oh. And like, talk about a
Gaslight,
psychological.
yeah. I did that to my youngest boys yesterday, I think.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, it worked too.
Yeah,
I hit
what'd
him.
you
I was
do?
like,
So
my
what
acting's on
happened?
point. Yes. Well, I go in. I had a little nest set up in the theater where I just had been laying down and taking my day naps, and
Nest.
they were
I
up
like
in
that.
there.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like a little like. Little skinny mattress that just can roll up and go down. You know, we put it away, but they knew I was in there and I was coming back to lay back down. And usually they like hang out with me, play, and like they'll jump on me and all that. And then I come in and it is just completely messed up. Like,
Oh, no.
All
Like
all the stuff.
your
all
nest
over.
is a mess.
My net, yeah. Well, it's a
It's a neat
it's
area.
a neat nest.
Yes.
Yeah. But then they put all the toys, all the pillows, every blanket they could find.
And you don't
One of
mess
my
with the
sons
nest.
likes to just
Yeah.
rip stuff up,
Uh-oh.
and there were just all kinds of cardboard all over the place. I said,
That's funny.
"You guys took my spot."
Oh no, you didn't do that to him.
Just like that. I milked it and did the slow
they're
turnaround.
5.5.
And what did they say?
Daddy, we're so sorry.
Something like, oh no, Daddy didn't like that. And then, yeah, that is sad. Yeah.
They just kept playing.
And I just kept going, yeah. Once I got out of there.
they didn't
Well, that's the
last
thing
long.
is like they like the doors shut in those in the theaters. So like when I got out of it, I was like, oh my God, I told my husband, got him, and you just hear the door slam behind me.
Right.
Nothing, just cold. Yeah, they just wanted me out, and that door shut.
And
yeah.
then you look
Yeah.
back.
What are you're supposed to invite me back in. Yeah, right.
It didn't work the way I thought it was
locked
going to
it
work.
down,
See,
yeah.
they're
But
smarter than us.
they felt me for a second.
They did.
there, yeah, almost got him.
You almost.
got him.
It's close.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the way we feel as parents. We're always so close. Are you ready to hold WWE history in the palm of your hand? Topps is bringing you closer to the action than ever before with WWE Topps Now, highlighting the biggest matches and milestones from WWE shows and PLEs throughout the year. Topps Now is enhancing the fan experience by connecting collectors to the superstars and spectacles that ignite their passion. Featuring stunning event-exclusive photography, each card is made for the moment. And for some lucky collectors, that moment could become the pull of a lifetime. Along with serial numbered parallels, some Topps Now releases offer a chance at rare short prints, superstar autographs, and even pieces of the mat, gear, or other items used during the featured match. So which moments will you collect? With each card only available for a limited time, you won't want to wait to begin your Topps Now journey. Be sure to subscribe to the WWE Topps Now mailing list on Topps.com and follow Topps on all social media platforms so you never miss a single moment. Do you have any good 5-year-old boy stories
I mean,
recently?
I know, I'm like, God. I mean, my son did come to SummerSlam,
Oh, yes, this is
Oh,
cute.
nice.
first show he's ever been to.
Oh, okay.
Which is
Cool.
If he comes again, he's going to be let down because he was backstage. He was meeting. I mean,
Got the whole
experience
nine,
of a
yeah.
lifetime.
Yep.
Not even by me because I was back with you, but so we were at the lake this past week. We're in Maine for a little vacation, and he constantly is running around. I was showing Steph a video, and he's like. Everything.
Yeah.
Everything he does, and we're
Taking
like,
bumps, though.
I mean, throwing himself on the float just constantly. And my daughter's almost 2, and he walks by, and he's like, in her face. And we're like, all right, bud. Maybe take it a little easy.
See all you weird
in.
workers slapping your leg.
Yeah,
You
that's
see
what
you're
happened.
doing?
That's what
Telling you.
happened.
Undertaker's just
See,
pissed
I know,
off
and
about
I was
this.
always like,
and
what with the slap?
are you?
Yes.
They're just
Yeah.
slapping. Yeah.
Just
Clap, kick, like,
learn how to work.
Terrible. Terrible, right? Setting the example. One
Right?
show.
Yeah.
It's one show.
Just drive-bys, slapping the thigh in the face.
in the kitchen. Innocent children.
Did you watch Triple Mania? Super fun. And I know Taker and
I
Sean.
did see some clips
Yeah.
and stuff like that from
Yeah.
the internet. Yeah.
They were working on it together.
Awesome.
Yeah, it was really cool. The next.
That's not something you would have thought you'd
No.
hear, like Heartbreak and
Absolutely
Taker,
not.
AAA. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like, It went good though?
It went great. And of course, the local promoters and the team there and everybody. It was an incredible team effort.
Mexico City? Nice. Yeah, it's always been. We were just there too. So good house and everything?
Yeah, they were hot. Hot.
Mexico City, I've only been there a few times, and it's always, anywhere we go, it's always just in and out. You know the deal.
Yeah.
But there's always they always talk about you need to be safe down there, but there's always like a vibrance about that city.
Yes,
the energy
so much
there.
life.
Yeah, they're doing it down there, and it's a huge city. It's so big, so many.
And they
pockets
love
of it.
their culture.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
For the most part, it's different. We're in America, so we have such a
many
melting
different,
pot.
yeah.
But I mean, when I'm around on my Samoan side, most cultures are very proud.
I agree with that,
and I'm not mad at that at all.
No, you should be proud of who you are and where you come from.
And if you think y'all are the best, then think
Great.
you're the best.
Yeah.
Have some pride in it, and especially cultures that we have now. A lot of them have been around for so long that we should be proud of them. We should be completely interested in them, and I don't know. That's cool.
And I think how they beautifully blend.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah. And our country's a great example of that. Like we're like the living proof of it. So that's good. How now, is that just like a one-time thing, or are they going to stay heavily involved?
No, I think they're involved.
Okay, good.
Yeah, for sure.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, at this point, I've seen it. You probably, a little bit different ends of the business growing up, but it's important to be able to spread out like the veterans and the people who actually know what they're doing, because so many kids waste money and time and health learning from the wrong people.
Yeah.
Putting themselves through the wrong, training.
Sure.
To have people who were the very top, like understand the business, every aspect of it.
And who can relate to you, just like you were saying, your
it's not easy to be
coach.
TR. It's not easy to relate to us weirdos, you know what I mean? We're a different group.
Different breed, for sure.
It's where like when performer meets athlete, like stage performer meets athlete, that's a lot going on there, you know what I mean? So anytime you can tap into the experience before you, and kind of back to full circle there. But that was cool.
Well, I can't thank you enough for doing this podcast.
My pleasure. Thank
I
you.
mean, really, like it's funny because I've known you for a very long time, but we haven't ever like sat and chatted for a long time.
It's been a while.
It's like, and I remember various stages because, God, I'm really getting long in the tooth. And like, I've been around generations now. No, but I am.
Okay.
And one of the things that was always so different about you too is when we were working together, and I would like try to give you cheap lines, like easy, go stay in the kitchen, or stereotypical type stuff, and you never wanted to do it. And I'd always be like, oh, I'd get such a big reaction. Like, I know it would work.
Yeah.
But it was never comfortable for you to do that. And I always respected so much that you wanted to do it your own way. But I felt like I couldn't get through to you. Like, what is it I'm missing? Like, how can I help him? How can I help get him what he wants? Because, I was the heel, obviously, and I wanted you to shine. And I'm like, oh, what can I do for him?
Oh, yeah. No, that was a weird time. It was, those were weird performance waters to navigate because, and like everybody looks at that time and they'll be like, oh, they just booed him. You know what I mean? He was like a failed baby face, and I still say this to
but
this
you
day.
weren't in
I wasn't like it. So some nights, yes, but pretty much every night I want him. By the end of the night, if you were, like in Houston, Texas, or, in whatever town on a Saturday, live event, no cameras, you would go through that process with me every single week. But we're just in a place that the fans were just doing what they were doing.
Yeah.
And we were a little more, not combative, but we would hold friction with that and not necessarily go with the flow when it feels like we should probably just go with the flow here. But man, it taught me so much. And I had to do it on my own time, but that's something that I just, even to this day, Paul, he would come up with all kinds of stuff when we're in the middle of the title reign, and I'd reject a lot of like, or I'd make it my own.
Right,
but
right.
I don't like low-hanging fruit.
Okay, maybe that's what it was, because
That's what it.
easy.
Well, yeah, and that's
Yeah.
from a promo standpoint. A lot of those cheaper digs, I feel a little more sophisticated than that. I feel like my communication can be a little more intellectual. I don't know. I'm from Georgia Tech. I should be able to like, you know, put some stuff together that isn't necessarily the stuff you'd hear on the corner. You know what I mean? So I just always, your dad was that way too, the way he wrote and the way he thought about writing and being a little more sophisticated and things of that matter. So I don't know. That was just a challenge of mine that I've always taken, you know, being in a PG product. And I no disrespect to anybody, chugging a beer, flipping birds, you know, shove this up your ass, that up your ass, you know, that's not that hard. You know what I mean?
It can be hard to stick something up someone.
Yes.
I knew she was gonna say it.
Not that I know.
If you're going to take anything away from today,
Kids.
getting that thing up your ass ain't that easy, all right?
Just saying.
Yeah. So
I mean,
I stand corrected. Especially when it's sideways. Good God, it's so hard. Yeah. But yeah, that was just always my take is like, how can we just be a little more clever, you know?
Yeah.
And I've just kind of try to stick to that. And sometimes, though, to your point, less is best. Keep it simple, stupid, and just go out there and kiss it. You know what I mean? And that works, you know, because it doesn't have to be highbrow every time. Sometimes you need a, you know, people just want to laugh. People just want some, you know, some
relief.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, they don't want to overthink everything or have to go on this crazy ride. But sometimes it is good. But that's kind of the weird.
But I love that.
creative
No
labyrinth
low
we're
hanging
in.
fruit. You know, as
Don't
much
have
as
to.
possible.
You
Yeah.
don't have to. I mean,
and
everybody's different,
mastering
though.
your craft.
100%.
Because that's a word you use that I thought was really important, is mastery. It's not just reps. It's not just learning. It's true mastery in every facet of whatever it is you're trying to do.
Oh, yeah.
And that's a particular mindset that I don't think many people have.
Well, there's just.
And then the discipline to do it.
Well, it's an art form too, so it's like, I don't know. I don't play violin, but I would imagine the brother that does knows how to hold that. You know, I don't even know what they call it, the bow. Yeah, but like he knows how to mesh those strings on strings a lot differently than I know I know the friction of the wrestling strings that need to be had out there. You know, I know how to angle my wrist, or you know what I mean?
Sure, yeah.
Like that's
And you
my
learned
art
those
form.
moves,
Yeah,
yeah.
100%. That's my art form, and that's what wrestling is. That's what professional wrestling,
agree.
sports entertainment is. It's
Performance
a
art.
beautiful art form. Yeah, I performance fight. That's what I call it. Yeah.
Again, you're just at the top of the game, and I know you said you have many rungs yet to climb.
More work. Yep.
And I just look forward to watching you and supporting you in whatever way that I possibly can. And hopefully this isn't, the last conversation that we have. And I have so many more questions that I could ask you, but
Part one.
yeah.
There we go.
There we
Part
go.
one.
Thank you for joining part one of our Fanatics WWE original
we'll get Elise's
production.
video of
What's
the
your story?
opposite.
Yes.
Just that he's a total asshole. He wanted a 4-room suite,
I
and
saw you getting
everybody
mad.
knows they stopped at 3-bedroom suites. So yeah,
like, I'm not going to tell the real story because he's looking at me.
Started to get nervous,
Yeah, Don't get nervous. I'm not Office.
I was, but I am no longer.
Also, no longer.
We're not Office.
We're not.
I
Married to. Does that count?
But when he's like creative,
Yeah. Yeah.
So you got to kind of stay hip with that. You can't be full half Office, quarter Office.
Okay.
Is he wearing a
Ish.
tie today?
Office-ish? No.
No tie, no Office,
No office. Okay.
no tie, no Office.
All right. Okay. That's the rule. No tie, no office.
Keep it casual.
I have a Fanatics question for you.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Right.
So if you could go back in time and gift your younger self one piece of teamwear, signed memorabilia, or something you would have flipped over, what would it be and why?
Honestly, I was just thinking about this because I have a Tom Brady helmet signed, acknowledged by their GOAT. I would love an MJ, Michael Jordan basketball.
Wow.
Yeah, that would be a beautiful compliment to be on that mantle.
That's a good one.
I don't know if I'm going to be able to make that happen. Well, hopefully, MJ, we can get that ball over to the tribal chief real quick. You know what I mean? That was it. Yeah, MJ for sure. Signed basketball
To go next to the helmet.
next to that Tom Brady helmet.
And then, is there another sport? Another athlete?
I mean, we can might as
Baseball?
well just do them all.
Yeah.
Baseball's hard. I loved baseball growing up. And that was actually one of my favorite sports. Like I thought
What'd you play?
that was going to be. I played third base, first base, left field, a little bit of center here and there. Did a little bit of everywhere. But I think third base was probably my best position when I was in. I stopped playing my sophomore year of high school.
Do you have a gun? Just to, to get
yeah,
that
yeah.
ball right to
Oh,
first.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah. Well, I pitched too, and so like my arm is double jointed, like
oh my goodness.
so yeah, like my elbow.
This
pops
is the
up.
clip right here.
Yeah.
Can you? Yeah.
So yeah, my elbow can extend. So when I would throw, my fastball had a crazy movement. So
bet.
I didn't have to like throw a slider. I didn't
Right.
have to throw change up.
'Cause it
was already
wiggling
going
through the
nuts.
air, yeah.
Yeah. And I could throw pretty hard, but I was the type of
terrible on
guy
your
after
shoulders,
2
yeah.
innings of like throwing as hard as I can, I felt it. And
Mm-hmm.
so I could have maybe like been a reliever, but my shoulder would have given out for sure. But yeah, I mean, due to the double joint.
I mean, that's crazy.
It was natty, and then like after years talking to like some of the kids I grew up with, and I had no clue about this until I was an adult. They told me, "Oh God, I hated hitting against you," and I was like, "I used to hate hitting against you." We had kids in my ballpark. The Twins can tell you that. I mean, they were like, we thought like you're going pro for sure. But yeah, they used to tell me this was years ago when they told me as we were adults that it was miserable hitting against me because I threw hard and they weren't sure where it was going. I wasn't wild or anything. I threw in the strike zone, but yeah.
But it would, yeah.
But baseball, that was my jam for a long time. But baseball is like one of those sports. I don't know. Barry Bonds would probably be.
Yeah.
Mark McGuire. I'm like naming off all the ones.
I know.
Sammy Sosa.
Those are the most famous
Sammy
ones.
Sosa. Yeah. Who else was on the gas? But Barry and Mark, I mean, those are the guys.
Yeah.
Football, so many good ones. I mean, I played the sport too, so it's hard to tell. But yeah, I mean, that would be cool to have like all the
hockey.
Get a Messi, get a Ronaldo.
Yeah.
Are we writing this down?
Yes, we are. We are. Yes, we are.
So by next year, we'll have all this stuff. This is great.
Part 2.
Yep. By part 2, boom, all the goats sign all the stuff. Perfect.
Awesome.
Deal.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thank you. Thanks for having me.